I think everyone knows it's really hard for bands, but going deeper into the behind the scene things, how tough it is on crews. I mean, that's zero. At least bands can, if they're big enough, they can kind of barely even get by. I don't even want to say that off their merch, but crews are zero income. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a side job, which most of us do when we get home, but some of us don't. It's really not, bartending's not the same. I don't want to just risk getting it for no reason. Um, I'm gonna put this up. I'm also gonna put it up into the notes, and then I'll have yours up during the video. Please, if you're out there and you're watching this and you enjoyed the podcast or you thought it sucked, at least think about donating to the crews and getting some money in their pockets. So we have the two Kyles, we have Dan and Zach, or I'm sorry, the two Zachs. I always say Kyle. The two Zachs and Kyle, Dan, Brian, Rogers, Aaron. Are those part of some hip abduction people as well, or is this the pacifier crew?
Yeah, so this is three of the pacifier crew and three of the hip abduction crew, all of which I love so much. And I know that, Brian Rogers, he is amazing and he's been working in the industry for, 20 plus years, and he hasn't been able to get any financial help. So, it just breaks my heart because he's put his heart and soul into that. So yeah,
Yeah.
donate if you can.
And a lot of the lifers, they've gone their whole life. Like you said, he's been working for 25 plus years, 20 plus years, and all those years are no insurance, a lot of other stuff comes straight out of pocket. And it is really tough because I don't think people realize also
He has three
a
daughters
tour.
as well. So,
Oh,
and he still makes it.
people have families, daughters. It's just so hard. So please, if you have anything, even a couple bucks helps. Hopefully the 100 monthly listeners I have will donate a little bit. So, but yes, it's so important. So, have you seen or gotten involved with any? I know they have like the Save Our Stages and the Music Cares and stuff, but it seems like those are really non-existent.
So I have tried. And you're right about a lot of these foundations or relief uh, whatever relief funds that are set up um, are specifically catered to just band members.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to go fill out the what was it, the music cares, not music cares, I don't know. I went to go fill one of them out, and
Right.
it was I got to a certain part in the application and it was like, what band do you play and what instrument do you play? And I was like, well, there's no option for crew at all. And so that's where my application ended. But I did get some money from Crew Nation, which I'm super grateful for.
Awesome.
And actually, it was one of the easiest processes I've ever had to go through trying to get any kind of government help. And it's probably because it wasn't government help. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, other than that, I've gotten a stimulus and I got a one-time, SBA
Mm-hmm.
uh, check, and that's it. That's absolutely it. I still haven't been able to get anything from unemployment, and I actually had to file in Florida because that's where I'm still legally living, which is good
Mm-hmm.
because Maryland, I'm not sure if you were able to apply, but for us, like it said, if you've traveled, or worked anywhere outside of Maryland in the last 18 months, then you're not eligible. So, and that happened for Ted and I. So Ted hasn't been able to apply for unemployment either. So I'm still trying in Florida, and I like to think that I'm a pretty educated person, and
Mm-hmm.
it is one of the most confusing things I've ever
Oh,
had to go through.
right.
So,
So I
yeah.
was lucky enough to ballyhoo. So here's what sucks. Because of my other jobs or my 9 to 5s that I had in between of ballyhoo, I was able to get unemployment when it first started. But the problem was a lot of my stuff, whether it be bartending or whatever, it doesn't show up. So they're thinking I'm making a lot less than I actually made. So even with unemployment, I was only making like $146 a week, from unemployment, which, I can't live off that. I'm lucky that I did get um, the CARES Act unemployment because of Ballyhoo, and the reason it went through so easily for me is they're based in Maryland. So if they weren't based in Maryland, I would have the same problem that you had, and I would be even worse off. So
Yeah.
I was able to collect the 600, which I'm super super grateful for, because people are like, "Why don't you just go get another job? You have degrees and stuff." I'm like, "But I shouldn't have to." I love music. I love touring. That's what I want to do for the short term foreseeable future. So based on that's my occupation at the moment. I shouldn't have to go get a job or put myself at risk. Um, I was also very lucky that, and I would say this to bands out there as well as a good advice, that even if you're not a huge band or maybe you went into debt over the last year, incorporate yourselves or however you want to set that up. Do that, because with me and EUM, even though I lost $7,000 last year, because I filed my taxes correctly and I LLC'd and I did everything correctly, I have proof that over the last 4 years I've been a legitimate business. And yeah, it cost thousands of dollars to do, but when all this happened, I was lucky enough to get an actual loan for the company as well. That being said, even though I was lucky to get my unemployment and the other ones, because I mean, I've paid taxes 35 years of my life, so I've voted every year, that I should, so I should be able to get it. At the same time, it's not enough, and there's so many people that aren't as lucky as I was that are. I mean, if you're out there listening to this, imagine going a whole year without a paycheck. I mean, that's what Brianna and a lot of other people are going through right now, and as hard as it is for the bands, it's even harder for the crew. So if you're out there and you can spare a little bit, please do. I've had these Venmos up for a little bit now, but yeah. So I was lucky to be able to get that stuff, but what I was gonna say is that if you're a band out there and you're a serious band, now if you're just messing around or whatever, I wouldn't say. But if you're a touring band that like pays a crew or pays whatever, make sure that you're doing that stuff so that when this happens, because you can then maybe even help out your crew to a degree. Now, us, since I'm independent contractors, I know it doesn't always work like that. But if you do it a certain way, I'm pretty sure I saw that if you're a business and you're paying the crew and you entitle them as a crew, then you would have been able to get some of that the payroll. You would have been eligible for the payroll thing. Um, but yeah, I can't stress enough how tough it is out there, and that's why I wanted to have you on here as well, so we can get some awareness with the crews.